Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to talk about aging and what it's like. And comment below, let me know how old you are and I would love to hear feedback from you guys on this video. So I am 34 years old. I feel like it was yesterday that I was a teenager and I still have like all of the thoughts in my mind of like what I thought about beauty and like I was so insecure about my beauty when I was younger. Like I felt like I wasn't pretty enough or there was, I don't know, or other girls were just so much more beautiful than me. I guess that might be part of teenage adolescence, or it can be. Hopefully you're a very confident teenager if you're young, or you were a confident teenager, but I was not. Finally, by the time I got to my early 20s, I finally started to appreciate my appearance and, you know, really come to love my brown eyes and my dark hair and my dark features. But it took a while for me to realize, you know, that I was beautiful and see myself as beautiful. And I hope that if you're not there, that I hope that you do get there at some point. And for those of you who don't know, I have another YouTube channel where I talk about my early 20s and how I used to work at Disney World as a Disney princess, Princess Jasmine, when I was younger. I'm 34 now, but I was 21 when I got hired. In Disney, once you started to get around your mid-20s, that was like, ooh, you're getting old, you know, like. It was around my mid-20s that I became a licensed esthetician and went to work at the Disney Grand Floridian Resort Spa. I feel like I became an esthetician because I started to search for the fountain of youth. Because, you know, in Disney, the idea of you getting old, you know, is kind of like you couldn't be a Disney princess anymore if you were old. Like, these were the things that I was thinking, I don't know, I guess and the idea that you were no longer useful, you know, and if you look at culture and society, it's like we worship youth and we worship beauty. And, you know, you see these actresses, and I don't know if the industry in Hollywood is changing or not, but a lot of times they will put like older men with younger women. I mean, you see this all the time, at least in American culture. Going from your early 20s to mid 30s, it's not always so easy. And, you know, I'm still young, I feel, being in my mid 30s, but it's not like when you're 21 and you're young. You know, that is when, for me anyway, it's when every makeup looks good on you, every look looks good on you. You can get away with so much in your youth, like wearing certain things, and as you get older, you know, I don't know, can you imagine an 80-year-old flaunting a bikini? It looks different on an 80-year-old versus a 20-year-old. So I remember working at Disney's Grand Floridian Spa, and this older woman, she must have been in her 40s or 50s, and she saw me and I had my hair all done and my eye makeup and everything, and I was like early 20s, and I remember she said to me, you know, you're not always gonna look like that. And she was so angry and she was so bitter, and I was kind of taken aback, like I was here to work on her skin and sell her the fountain of youth, you know, just the way I was searching for the fountain of youth. And for her to say that to me, I just was kind of like, wow, this lady, I remember thinking she was really struggling with getting older and it was not going very well for her to snap at a young person. And I remember thinking, I never want to be bitter about getting older, and I never want to take it out on somebody when I'm that old. I don't ever want to feel that way. I don't even want to think that way towards a young person. You're not always going to look like that. Even if it's true, I don't want to wish that upon somebody. I can't wait for you to get older and you see the pain I'm in. I don't ever want to feel that. I don't want to know that pain. As a young person, we see older people, and I definitely see some old people that I'm like, oh, you know, like you get kind of afraid of aging. Like, am I gonna look like that? But then I see some older people where I look at them and I can remember like two women over the past 10 years, they stand out to me, and they were grandma age, like they were old enough to be a grandma, probably upper 60s. And I looked at them and they were so beautiful in their age. Like one lady stands out to me. I saw her at Epcot in the England pavilion, and she had this white hair. she was older, but her hair was beautiful. Like, it was shiny and glossy and old. And it wasn't just some young person that dyed their hair gray. It wasn't like that at all. She was actually, you could tell that she was older. But the way she carried herself, she had great posture. I feel like that's something that you don't see in a lot of older people. Like, they start to hunch. So I feel like maintaining great posture, like I feel like I learned that that is something that if you want to age gracefully, work to maintain your posture now where you are. And so that was something that struck me about her. And she must do some kind of hair care. Maybe she does hair masks or something, but she was taking care of her white hair, and she was proud of her hair. And I mean, I would be too if my hair was gray and it looked like that. But and she also looked like somebody who just took care of herself. Like, you could tell she would be somebody who would wear sunblock and not lay out in the sun and, you know, get all those sunspots. She looked like she took care of her health. More than anything, she looked healthy. She wasn't weak. So that was very inspirational to me. And then another lady that I saw, I actually gave her a facial at the Disney Grand Floridian Spa, and she told me that she was all about vegetables. Vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. And when I looked at our skincare at the Disney Spa, I remember it was all about the vitamins and the antioxidants and the minerals and all of these things. And she was eating all of that stuff, this lady who looked amazing in her old age. And she did not strike me as someone who did Botox. She didn't look like that kind of person. She was very content with how she looked. Like, she wasn't trying to be, you know how like some women are older and they're getting Botox and you can tell that they're trying. She didn't look like she was one of those people that tries. She seemed very into health, like genuinely into it. She's like, oh, I'm all about eating from the garden, and I eat vegetables. It's like most of what she eats. I don't know if she was obsessed with vegetables or not, but whatever. The fact is, this woman looked great. Her skin, like everything, she just looked really healthy. And I feel like a lot of us are very quick to just slap a cream on, whereas this woman was trying to eat her vitamins and minerals, not just slap it on her face with a cream. You know, that impressed me. But I guess some points that I want to make in this video to help like somebody who is younger, like some of the things that I have learned. Everybody gets old. Everybody. That is the way we are all going. There is not one single old person that you look at that was not once upon a time 20 years old. So maybe that one lady telling me, you know, you're not always going to look like that, maybe that was a blessing in disguise. Maybe she didn't realize that she wasn't always going to look like that. Maybe she thought she was always going to look 20 forever. And so when reality hit her really hard. So I feel like if you're a young person, realizing that you're not always going to look like that, that one day you will be 80 something years old. If you are so blessed to live that long, you will be in your 80s. And what are you going to look like? That is a question that I think you need to start asking yourself. You know, maybe there's lifestyle changes that you can make, like that one lady who had the really great posture. It looked amazing on her. How many old people do you look at that have amazing postures? I see old people and I see a lot of hunched over backs. Like, I admire women who are older, who are exercising and keeping their body strong. And I know that it's not so easy for everybody, and unfortunately there's some hardships that, you know, life can throw you some hardships and challenges. But if you are able, and if you can, why not try to take opportunities to strengthen your physique if you have the ability? And of course, if life throws you a curveball and you can't, you know, you go with the flow. But I feel like if you have the ability, why not start now while you can? And I guess that ties into my next point, doing the best you can with what you have. I know I certainly can't afford all the most expensive creams. I've been really blessed doing YouTube that I've had companies send products to me to use that I might not otherwise be able to afford, because I do have more of a drugstore budget. But even using drugstore, there's some good ingredients in there, or even at home products like coconut oil, which you can find at Target supermarket. I will buy like little jugs of coconut oil and lather coconut oil all over my body, and that's kind of pricey. Or even olive oil. Like olive oil was one of the ingredients that was in some of our expensive skincare at the Disney Grand Floridian Spa, and maybe I'm not going to put olive oil straight on my face, especially if I have like acne problems or whatnot, because the molecules might be large and it might clog your pores. But like on your neck and décolleté and on your arms and legs, why not at night? Like that is a super rich, nourishing treatment that you can give your body. And it might be more cost effective to make your own skincare at home, so I would definitely research that online. You know, just doing the best with what you can. Maybe it's birthday money, and maybe you can't afford expensive eye creams, but if you feel like your eye area, for example, is looking kind of whack, getting a full night's sleep, like maybe that is something that you can make a priority if possible. You know, looking for things, doing the best with what you can. So I think another tip that has helped me with aging and turning 35 is also just realizing that beauty is vain. And that's an old proverb in the Bible, beauty is vain. And I feel like that proverb is true no matter what you believe, if you're atheist or not. You know, beauty is vain. I mean, all you have to do is look around this world and see all the suffering and see how unimportant beauty is. I was not prepared for, I remember like being in my 20s and hearing like moms say, oh, I don't have time to do my makeup or skincare or whatever. I don't have time for all that because I have a baby. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like when I have kids, because I knew I wanted to have kids, but I remember thinking when I have kids, I'm going to make my skin a priority. I don't know what these people are thinking. They don't care about their appearance anymore. And I know that sounds terrible, but that was my 20s mentality. Ignorance is bliss. But then I was the one only getting 2 hours of sleep, and until you experience that level of tiredness, and nobody is there to help you because your husband has to go to work, your parents live far away, or whatever, just whatever your circumstances, it's not always going to be easy to stick to a skincare routine. And so maybe it's not a baby, maybe it's something else, like you have to take care of a sick or elderly parent or something in life happens where there's things in life that are gonna be more important than taking care of your physical appearance. Like if you have 10 minutes to take care of yourself every day, appreciate that, because there are people out there who don't have that luxury to spend 10 minutes in front of the mirror and do eye creams or face creams or whatever. Appreciate that time. So, you know, because being in my 20s, I thought like beauty was everything. It's so embarrassing to talk about how important like beauty was, and not to say that it's not important. I guess as you get older and you experience more challenges in your life, it gives you depth of character when you go through challenges in life and you realize how beauty, like when I was young, I wanted to be as beautiful as I possibly could, the most beautiful if I could be. And as I got older, I realized how stupid that way of thinking was, because, for example, I had a crush on this one guy when I was in high school. His name was Travis. And it wouldn't have mattered like how beautiful I was. He loved, loved, loved girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. Like that was his thing. He loved blonde girls. Like, and I guess I saw this one meme going around on social media. You could be the most beautiful peach in the orchard, but if somebody hates peaches, you know, you're gonna go uneaten, if that makes sense. Like, I guess I just learned to appreciate myself, and realizing that someday I was gonna find a husband who appreciated me. Whether you are tall or short or blonde or redhead, if you have black skin or Asian eyes, or if you're tan or pale, You know, it doesn't matter. There is gonna be somebody out there who finds your type of beauty to be the most appealing. So how can you like strive to be the most beautiful when there's always gonna be somebody who doesn't think you're all that, you know? So I feel like that was a great learning experience for me from my teenage years to now, like learning to appreciate all the different types of beauty and that are out there in this world. I don't know where we as women can pick up the lie that the more beautiful you are, the more loved you will be. I guess because we see it in society, you know. I know for me, like I remember going to Colombia, South America, and seeing that the more attractive you were, it seemed like you got a better job, or you were hired easier, or in Colombia, South America especially, like beauty is worshipped, even more so than in the USA, I feel. And it might be that way in other cultures too. I think it's like, it's a big lie. And so also seeing guys with beautiful women who they don't even appreciate the beautiful woman that they have. Their eyes are like looking everywhere else but at this gorgeous woman that they have. You know, and then you'll see another couple together where the guy is gorgeous and his wife is, you know, I wouldn't consider her to be the most beautiful woman in the world kind of thing, but he loves her and he's faithful to her. So realizing what was important to me, did I want a husband who loved me for me? What good does it do you to be so beautiful and young looking if your man still goes and cheats on you? Like, you know, I would rather be the humble looking woman whose husband truly loved her and was faithful to her. Like, and as far as beauty being vain too, all of these expensive beauty products that we buy and we slather on ourselves, and don't get me wrong, I love beauty products. I am not stopping using my beauty products, but they're not gonna keep me looking 21 forever, you know? Like, I believe in taking care of your skin and being as beautiful and looking as young as you can for as long as you can, but there is a line, you know, where it's important to a point, but no farther, because there are things that are just so much more valuable and so much more important than looking perfect all the time. All of this to say that I believe in prevention being key, like taking care of yourself and loving yourself the way you are. You know, and maybe you'll never be a supermodel, but focusing on your personality, focusing on your family and loving others, seeing that there is value in people beyond their physical appearance. Like, I don't care how my mom or sister look. I love these women. And so there's so much more to a person than physical appearance. At the same time, I am a girl who loves beauty products, and you know, so it's kind of like finding that balance. But so anyway, this is just where I am now from 20s to 30s, and it'll be interesting to see what I've learned about the aging process as I move into my 40s over the next 10 years. And so I look forward to sharing this adventure with you guys and sharing what I learn on this channel with you guys. And I hope you like this video. If you want to add more things or tips or advice, if you're someone who, you know, is no spring chicken anymore, like, comment below, share your tips and advice for the younger generation. Share what beauty products have worked for you and what makes you feel good. I'm just gonna keep loving on my skin the best I can, and, you know, understanding that life happens and we do the best we can with what we have. And you know, I kind of got the idea when I was working at the spa in my youth, like, that I just wanted to look the best I could for my age. That was my goal. So I feel like that is still my goal to this day. And so prevention, exercise, eating healthy. This video is getting kind of lengthy, so I'm just gonna finish it up here. Please like this video if you liked it. Share this video if you think it can help somebody else. And please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see on my channel, and hopefully I can get some of those up for you. And I hope you have a great week and that I'll see you soon. All right, bye-bye.